Hey guys, welcome to Grammar and Writing Lesson 28. Let's get started with vocabulary. We're talking about two words that are spelled very similarly. Here's the first one. They're spelled very similarly, but they're not pronounced the same and they have very different meanings. So you have to be careful as you are saying them. This first one is perspective, not perspective, not perspective, perspective, perspective. So the E is before the R, perspective. What does this word mean? It means a point of view, the ability to evaluate all relevant data. Data is just, facts, pieces of information. So your perspective is the way that you look at things and your ability to look at everything that you know and to put it in place with your knowledge. That's perspective. For example, from the teacher's perspective, an extra day of vacation is well deserved. So from the teacher's point of view, from what the teacher knows and understands, an extra day of vacation is well deserved. And from this teacher's perspective, she would love a day of vacation. Don't worry, you actually have a day of vacation coming up very, very soon. Prospective, prospective, okay? This word is very similar. Perspective, prospective, perspective, prospective, okay? The definition of this word, though, is of or in the future. Something that's coming in the future, something that is of the future, that is prospective. So, for example, the mayor's prospective budget provided for 2 additional middle schools. So we say perspective and prospective. Perspective and prospective. Prospective is of or in the future. Of or in the future. So the mayor's prospective budget, the budget is the amount of money that they say is going to go for a certain thing. So the mayor's prospective budget, the budget that he has planned, the money that he has planned to put into the future, provided for 2 additional middle schools. So perspective, point of view. Prospective, something to do with the future. Let's practice with these. Fill in the blank with the correct vocabulary word. Sentence number 1, from the defendant's blank, she is not guilty. So is this talking about her point of view or seeing into the future? From the defendant's blank, she is not guilty. Sentence 2, the forecast of the nation's blank economy is dismal. The forecast of the nation's blank economy is dismal. So what's this talking about? Forecast means like looking into what is coming and saying what is about to come. So the forecast, saying what is about to come in the nation's economy that is coming, it's dismal, meaning it's sad, it doesn't look good. Number 3, the blank weather report is for cloudy days and some rainfall. The blank weather report is for cloudy days and some rainfall. Which vocabulary word, based on its definition, would fit best in this sentence? And last but not least, being much older, Mr. O'Rourke has a different blank from his son. What would that be? Would it be perspective, his point of view, or prospective, of or in the future? Being much older, he has a different what from his son? Okay, let's check out the answers. If you have not written down your answers yet, please pause the video, write them down now. From the defendant's blank, from the defendant's perspective, she is not guilty. So this is from how the defendant, a defendant, by the way, is someone who's been charged with a crime. So from her perspective, from her point of view, from what she knows and understands about the situation, she is not guilty. She didn't do anything wrong. The forecast of the nation's prospective economy is dismal. Here, prospective, because we're looking into the future. Whew, pardon me, I'm yawning all over the place. Okay. The prospective weather report is for cloudy days and some rainfall. So we're talking about the weather report for the near future. Being much older, Mr. O'Rourke has a different perspective from his son. So the way he looks at things is different from his son because he's older and has more experience. Okay, into our writing lesson for today. We are talking about writing a personal narrative. This is what you have been practicing for leading up to this moment. In lesson 18, that would have been the homework lesson from Monday, you chose an interesting personal experience and created a rough plan for writing a personal narrative. In this lesson, you will use your rough plan and any other notes and begin writing your narrative. So you were brainstorming in the last homework session that you had. You were writing out a rough plan of what you are going to write. So now it's your turn. Let's talk about the paragraphs that you need to include in your personal narrative. The first one is an opening paragraph. Remember that your opening paragraph should capture the interest of the reader and establish your tone, which reveals your feelings or attitudes about the experience. You will write in the first person using the pronoun I or we. That's what it means by write in the first person, use I or we, because this is a story about an experience that you had, something that happened to you, that you watched, something like that. So, your paragraph, your very first paragraph, should make your reader interested in finding out what your personal narrative is and establish your tone. What it means by establish your tone, that means show whether this was a scary experience, a funny experience, an exciting experience, something like that. So what about the rest of what you're writing? The body paragraphs, that's your content. Although you have a plan to follow, you may alter it as you write. So you've started out with this rough plan like the one below. You've started out with this idea that this is what you want, but you are allowed to change it as you are writing. Following the opening paragraph, each then part of your rough plan might become the topic sentence for a body paragraph in which you fill in the details, actions, and any necessary dialogue. Remember, dialogue just means what people are saying. So you start with your opening paragraph. In this particular example, your opening paragraph goes with the first. So that's your opening. My brother and I went hiking in Dark Canyon. And so the rest of the paragraph would be something that's going to grab the reader's attention. Then the rest of the sentences. We wandered off the main trail and you're going to develop a paragraph to go with that main idea. Then you'll develop a paragraph to go with the sun going down and what happened after that. A paragraph to go with hearing coyotes and wolves and whatever else. Okay, so those are your body paragraphs. This last part that says finally, that would be your closing paragraph. So let's talk about your closing paragraph. Your concluding paragraph will include a personal summary or commentary about how the experience affected you or taught you something significant. So you want to explain what was the result of this personal experience in your concluding paragraph. Like in the example from before, it said, we learned to always take a flashlight with us when we go out walking. What did you learn? What happened? How did it affect you? Did it give you more confidence? Did it give you more fear? What happened as a result of this experience? Then you need to write your personal narrative according to the guidelines above, meaning you're talking about your opening sentences, your concluding paragraph, all of that stuff. So write your personal narrative according to the guidelines above on this page. Include an opening paragraph, 2 or more body paragraphs, and a concluding paragraph. So you have all of that you need to include. An opening paragraph, 2 or more body paragraphs, so at least 2. Not 1, at least 2. And then a concluding paragraph. So how many paragraphs will you have minimum? Minimum. 4. 4 paragraphs minimum. And remember, a good paragraph should have, well, now that you're older, a good paragraph should have 6 to 8 sentences. If it's a little more than that, that's fine. If it's less than that, it's not okay. So 6 to 8 sentences is a good range for your age. So um, you need to have at least 4 paragraphs, one opening, 2 middle at least, and a concluding. Some notes about that. Things to remember. This is your homework. You have until Friday to complete your rough draft because I know that this is going to take a little bit of time. So I know that you may have things that come up. You have until Friday to complete it. Please don't start Friday morning and finish it Friday. No, no, no. Start it earlier. If you can't finish it until Friday, then you know that you have enough time because you planned it out. So your homework is due on Friday. Make sure that you are doing that correctly. Now this is your first draft, so don't worry about grammar or even perfecting your writing. Just get your thoughts out on the paper. You know what you want to say, you know what happened in the story, just write them. Don't even worry too much about your paragraph divisions or anything like that. Just get your thoughts out onto the paper. One more note about that, if you need to, write it first in Spanish, then rewrite it in English. If you have to do that, I don't want to see a picture of your Spanish writing, that's fine, I don't need that. But if you feel more comfortable, if your thoughts are going to leave your brain more easily in Spanish, and you think that you'll be able to write it better in Spanish, go ahead, write it in Spanish first, get all of your thoughts out. Then translate it and put it into English. If you choose to do it this way, I don't want you to simply type something into a translator or simply ask someone to translate it to English for you. No, I want you to practice because most of you can do it with no problems. There are some of you who are a little weaker in your English, and that's fine, and you might need some help, but I want you to do all that you can first. Figure out what you can translate first, and then the rest you can ask for help. You can put it in a translator or something like that. If you want to just write it to start with from English, you don't want to write it in Spanish and then translate it, that's fine too. Whatever you would like to do on that one, okay? So this first draft is due Friday. Finish it by Friday. Send a picture of it in with your Friday homework. If you finish it earlier, you can send it in earlier, okay? That is all, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Love you guys very, very much. Bye.